Geth
And
are
now
big
we're back
purveyors of
to.
ladders.
And now we're back to the color filter school of environment design.
Got it.
Here's a big question. Okay, so this is a dreadnought. It even says in the description that I think I briefly looked at before we docked, before we started this sequence. This dreadnought was basically the Geth super ship. You know, the Geth don't ask for days off or have to worry about any kind of crew consideration, so the only thing they were limited by was resources and energy generation.
In the meantime,
so they could just basically build whatever kind of super ship they want. But then why does the interior operate in the same way that any other normal spaceship would operate? Why do you have crew corridors?
Gravity, corridors, lighting. What is all this stuff for? So that they can relax when they unplug from the Matrix and go to their robo bed to take a robo nap?
That's roboticist.
Hell, why does it have gravity at all?
Yeah.
I mean, gravity obviously must take, like... Yeah, it must take energy to generate gravitational field.
Not if you spin
Maybe not much, given the fact that it's really prevalent throughout the universe, but...
I just like the idea that this giant dreadnought is like doing 80 RPM, cycling and spinning real fast.
Just so that they don't spill their Geth drinks.
That gives me an idea for an energy drink.
What's that?
Spinning around real fast?
Both of that, yes.
In my experience, drinking corn syrup laden energy drinks and spinning around really fast do not go well together.
Huh. Hey guy, what's up? Oh, I guess you noticed me.
So, this environment, unlike the one we were talking about earlier in the week, this one, it's hard to see, kind of cluttered, the Geth blend into their own environment. Not a lot of fun to shoot here. Kind of cluttered. They've got the orange and blue, but it's not on the battlefield. So much of the time, like, you'll just end up in an all-blue room fighting blue Geth with blue lights on them.
Habadi habadai.
We're taking heavy losses. The Geth have a planetary defense cannon. It's ripping through our...
I like how their doors have the same icons as our doors, and their doors just work like human doors.
Seriously.
You know how, like, there was those web standards things that was a big deal a while ago? Like, is there some sort of future door standard accord? Like, okay, seriously, guys, we gotta stop fucking around with these doors. This is bullshit.
They hate doors made by Microsoft because they don't follow standard.
This is Space OSHA. Safety standards here. We need usability in space. Oh.
For the safety and convenience of your crew, we mandate a giant green panel with a target on it.
That way, when there's a fire, they won't become disoriented. Your robots won't get scared of the fire.
I played through this sequence and started shooting at my own teammates because I couldn't tell the difference between them and the Geth, because they're just all like, nobody's like doing like normal stuff, especially when you're a Vanguard and you're running around like I am, and everyone, it's kind of dark in here, so everyone just looks the same. Oh, mine, I'm on fire.
I ever tell you guys, speaking of mines, did I ever tell you guys what happened that one time I started playing Mass Effect after having not played it for a long time?
Did I miss the plasma rifle? Whatever.
Okay, so this one time, I started replaying Mass Effect. Didn't really remember the controls or anything, so I load up the game, and by clicking, like, double-clicking, trying to click through the loading screen, as soon as I get accidentally fire my shotgun, then my reflex kicks in and I hit R to reload. I hurl a mine. So, staring at that for a moment, like, oh, this is embarrassing. I tentatively run forward, whereupon the mine explodes and takes off half of my health. And it is at this point that Caden yells, "Finally, some action!"
Well, that sounds like our Deus Ex season.
Which one?
Well, remember when I was, wait, what?
What about the heat diffusion?
Wait, so we're locked in here, Tali, and your grand plan to get us out is to fool the system into thinking there's a fire on a ship where an atmosphere isn't even necessary. And we're all wearing helmets, so presumably there isn't an atmosphere.
Man, this
This
ship
is
looks
the
hella
greatest
flammable,
plan ever!
I know.
And apparently it worked! They have fire protocols!
Shepard just crawls up. Shepard gets a step ladder that the Geth keep around, climbs up to the ceiling, and holds the lighter underneath the sprinkler system that the Geth have installed here. And cools the system.
My favorite example of bridge logic was, in the Dresden Files role-playing game, you can actually, like, make declarations where you can establish parts of a scene. Like, I say that the tanks are vulnerable to a certain kind of bullet, or something like that. So, in one case, we were on a ship, and there, like, this fire spell goes awry, so there's this horrible roaring inferno inside the ballroom that's threatening to kill us all. So when the person says, okay, I make it insist that there's a fire sprinkler on the roof, that I can shoot with my fire gun to, like, you know, start the sprinkler system. James like, okay, yeah, go ahead. So he, like, makes the insist, fires, hits, and then, like, a couple rounds later realizes this fire had been going on for 5 minutes. And there was a sprinkler system, and we had to shoot it with, like, a fire bullet the size of a pea to get it to go off. Also, this is the 1930s.
Shouldn't be too much farther to the main. I'm surprised they'd send you on this mission, Tali.
So, I've been playing a game recently that also has a similarly ugly alien ship, but is much more strategic. XCOM.
Oh, love XCOM.
Okay, we're getting the elevator
can we
joke,
just-
or we just got it.
Can we... No, we didn't get it. You'll know when we get it. Can we just, like, stop playing this season and play XCOM instead?
Ooh, no.
No,
Sure.
Tell you what,
I mean,
we'll
think
name,
of all
we'll name
the
main
cool
female
stuff
lady
we could
Shepard.
do.
Well, I only bring it up
Probably
because
die in the
it's
first mission.
it's very similar to this in that there are points in XCOM where you have to infiltrate an alien base, and it's kind of
And it looks
purple
like
and
the...
ugly.
Reaper signal deactivated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just generic corridors with no purpose. Like, this corridor doesn't go anywhere except to this different corridor. What do the aliens do here? Do they exist? Do they eat? Do they sleep? Do they have any purpose? Do they stand in a room? But I forgive that in a strategy game more than I forgive it in a game like this.
Ow.
Where they've already established what the Geth are and what they're all about. And now they're just hand-waving the whole thing just so that we can run around and shoot dudes in corridors.
Yeah, I mean,
Watch
because
the
at least
shockwaves.
XCOM... Yeah, I hate this part. Well, I just hate the fact that XCOM feels tense constantly, and this is... We've been doing this for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Really, has it only been 10 minutes? It feels like an hour. I kid you not, it
So
feels like we've been in here an hour.
I've got a question about the rules here. If I phase through a rocket that's on its way to hit me while I'm charging someone, does that technically count as catching the rocket?
I've wondered that myself. Usually I phase through projectiles heading for me, but once in a while you'll just take it to the forehead on your way there, and I can't tell if that's deliberate or a bug or which. Is it a bug that it misses or a bug that it sometimes hits? I have no idea. I like being able to phase through them. That gave it the feeling of more strategy.
Aye, Toro.
That should buy some time.
Oh, no. You're not telling me that our plan
We're safe as long as
is
the
the
maintenance
Death
box is in
Star
place.
2 wrong.
Let's move.
No.
Straight through the
Back
chud.
online.
Rutscorn! That's
Get outta here.
2 references from the same movie in 1 week. Now it's becoming a crutch for you.
Look at us.
Close one.
They really are kind of
Oh, good.
chompers, though.
Stick to cover!
Really
Yeah.
are.
Remember how the big joke
What
about
the
the choppers where they didn't make any fucking sense?
This is bullshit.
Yes! Like, they were like, this is
Stand up
stupid,
so I
there's
can
no
charge
reason
you.
for these to exist. And then in this game, they're like, huh, it would be awesome if there were chompers that you had to go.
This part particularly annoyed me because I fought my way through all of the other avoid the shockwave stuff. I got to the run through the chompers bit, and I'm like, finally, I'm done. And no, they just dump you out and you do it again backwards.
It's like, what?
Yes.
Like, what are we even doing? Where are we going?
We have to hack all the gas.
Supposedly we're going to the core, but
because again, everything important is happening in space in giant epic space battles. All we are doing is we are the team on Endor that went down and tried to shut off the satellites while the space battle was going on upstairs. That's literally what we're doing.
Which, to be fair, is a pretty appropriate role for Shepard.
It would be if it didn't feel like everything important was happening in space battles that we never see or get to interact with.
I want to be Lando Calrissian. Not Princess Leia.
I want to be Admiral Akbar.
I want to be Princess Leia circa beginning of Return of the
But Admiral
Jedi.
Akbar doesn't like have his own beer commercial.
I'd also point out that there is an admiral with us on this mission.
Well, that was kind of how, like, in Star Wars, they just like gave like bullshit ranks to Han Solo. It's like, hey Han Solo, you're a general. Why not?
Sure.
It's like, I'm sure you know a lot about generaling as a general with your generalship.
If Han Solo gave you a command, would you follow it? It's a valid question.
Like a man calling himself Han Solo, or like if I was actually
no, like
in Star Wars?
literally Han Solo.
In this universe or in his?
Grab my hand!
Whatever.
Well, I'm not going to listen to a guy calling himself Han Solo in this universe. That's crazy.
And then
But
doesn't
if I were in a
grab
fictional
Holly's hand.
universe, and if this fictional smuggler that is in real life played by Harrison Ford was telling me to attack a magical space wizard, well, that would make perfect sense.
Good.
Oh, here comes the
Hopefully we're
joke.
done with elevators. Come on. The drive.
I'm beginning to realize that the theme of this game is not cycles or fatality. It's blowing up elevator.
It's screw you people who like the first game. You
How many
pretentious
elevators
bastard.
have we killed so far?
This is a really weird prequel to Halo.
This does have that early 2000s where you'd play a shooter and alien ships were all just tunnels and tunnels. Tunnels that lead to corridors. It does feel like that. This feels a bit like Doom 3 meets the original Halo.
It's aliens without the verisimilitude.
Is this Legion or is this not Legion?
I guess it's Legion. I couldn't remember if Legion died or
Help
not.
me fight the collectors.
It's
on our
Legish.
side.
No, wait, no, Legion definitely survived.
Yes,
Right.
reprogrammed.
In my playthrough with the default save, Legion did not exist, and this was a nondescript nonsense robot.
Legion.
I like how they've got him. I like how they've got him chained up there, like as the way you'd restrain a human with his arms over his head, as opposed to just downloading his shit and throwing the body away. Because what do you need that for?
Well, no, because
Apparently
they're
the
setting up
body
the
is
whole.
what broadcasts the command signal.
They're setting up the whole Jesus thing because if you go with Legion
know,
instead of going with
I
Quarian,
know.
and yeah,
Okay, Legion. Nobody's gonna get destroyed. Just
I mean it's all
take it
intentional.
slowly,
It's just
alright?
lazy and dumb.
Yes.
And then at the end, Optimus Prime says, "I died for your sin."
Operating protocols. The hardware blocks are on the far side
He
of the road.
kind of does though.
Far side of
Oh, awesome! We can't just remove his restraints. We have to shoot some more dudes and hit E in front of another terminal?
No, we literally have to go up here and press a button instead.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
we were
really
done with
refreshing.
elevators.
Evidently not.
Talizora to fleet. This
Can you imagine? Why is it so inefficient? These guys download themselves into computers and can just do things with their mind. And that little elevator there.
You saw that level, right? I mean, to do anything in Geth World takes forever.
Oh yeah. They've designed Tron World where everything's super far apart and inconvenient.
Kila.
As a gesture of cooperation, We have disabled the Dreadnought's drive core. All weapons and barriers are offline.
Wait, you can just do that?
Apparently he's powered by dubstep.
Alert! Geth reinforcements incoming.
Power of dubstep.
You know, the fact that we chose the sole survivor really informs why Shepard is doing this.
Sure.
It does.
It flavors my attempts to shoot dudes so much. Every punch he makes is
and how you work with Cerberus all the time.
Okay. Has anything about, like, our backstory ever been relevant in more than a throwaway sense? Ever?
No.
It's been...
It was relevant in that
been-
one thing in Mass Effect 1 where we fought Cerberus and talked to the... Well, we didn't actually do that, but... If Regina had existed for our Mass Effect 1 run...
It was relevant in the sense that when it does come up, it's contradictory to what's happening.
Oh, by the way, they're gonna kill us now because we're on. They're gonna blow up the ship now that Legion disabled all this stuff, and they're not gonna wait for us to get off. Thanks a lot, Legion.
This just does nothing but make you hate the Quarians more. I would love to get some Walking Dead style statistics about who chose which direction, because I cannot imagine anybody siding with the Quarians after all of this.
Yeah, they were very stupid, did this stupid attack that's I mean, they are doomed anyway. If they live on their home world, they will get reaped very quickly. There is no way to avoid that. They are doomed, no matter what. And
I thought there was only one.
And so they're so stupid about it. They won't listen to reason, and then they pointlessly betray you for no reason in the world. Just who sides with the Quarians?
I can almost understand their desperation to kill this ship, but in my game I was running with the like, hey, you guys should not be still fighting here. You should just retreat. And they decide to kill this ship and press the attack. It's like, no, you dumbasses.
Think about what this really means. Think of what the experience the player goes through. First, the Quarians show up, and they're like, "We're not going to help you till you help us." And then you start helping them, and then they betray you. And then after they betray you, you go down on the planet. And once you're on the planet, you have the entire backstory of the Geth, where they're jerks to the Geth.
Where they were really evil, and just, I mean, it was almost like pointlessly evil towards the Geth. And to themselves, where it just like paints them as just incredibly evil people. How many people sided with the Quarians at the end? Yeah, I would love to know that.
There's a place you have to go here that triggers the cutscene instead of just triggering the cutscene when everyone's dead. Fuck! Get off the cover! No!
And this undercuts the ending because this sets up the Geth as just blameless. The Geth come off as just innocent, fighting for survival.
Which is a dumb way to do it anyway, because the interesting part about this was that neither side was blameless.
Right.
And then they're just like, no, the Geth, they were totally broke. The Quarians were the evil people that tried to kill everything.
And then at the end of the game, the catalyst is like, oh, but, you know, AIs always rise to kill their creators. And you're like, but these Geth have been they have been more patient than anybody else in the galaxy about this crap. Disproving everything they claim about the relationship between synthetics and organics. So it undercuts that whole thing at the end. The game
Wait, the Geth have
claims
fighters?
is true.
Wait, the ending doesn't make sense?
No, Yes! Doesn't make sense.
Are you sure? I mean, I thought it made some... No. I can't even joke about that.
I haven't seen it, so I couldn't say whether or not, no.
Damn it.
We have taken control of docking protocols.
We'll be right there.
Hey, look! More footage of us falling off of shit. This mission is now complete.
Shepard Commander, we can only launch from the upper levels.
Shit hard. Well, it's okay. It doesn't turn out to be the only way to get out of here anyway. If it wasn't for being randomly bumped off of shit, we'd never get anywhere.
Oh look, now the gravity's off, so we can just fly around. Oh, that's weird. Last time I played through this, Caden was the one that got picked up by Legion.
We're leaving in a Geth fighter. Transmitting rendezvous coordinates.
Legion doesn't discriminate, I guess.